Welcome back to lytutien, where simple stories illuminate the beauty of kindness in a world that's growing ever more rushed and indifferent. We hope each episode can be a quiet corner for you to pause, breathe, and feel the warmth of human compassion. Today, we invite you to witness a fragment of life belonging to those who seem small in the eyes of the world, yet carry within them hearts big enough to forgive and to heal. A single mother, a wounded girl, and a man who once lost his way, but never his true self. The first light of dawn peeks through the mist, but has yet to pierce the thick white fog blanketing the hillside. Gentle breezes thread through the leaves, rustling the bamboo curtain hanging at the doorway of a small hut beside a stream. In that tranquil, pure atmosphere, another day begins in a remote countryside. Inside the modest thatched hut, Huyen, a woman long accustomed to early hardships, quietly begins her day. Wearing a worn-out blouse and tying back her long hair with a faded strip of cloth, she moves with a silent grace. Her 3-year-old daughter, Maya, still sleeps soundly, clutching a small crippled dog named Bibi, their faithful companion through storms both literal and emotional. Not wanting to disturb her daughter, Huyen takes a basin of laundry to the stream. The soft gurgle of water and the whisper of the breeze form a peaceful symphony, a sharp contrast to the turmoil within her. Washing clothes isn't just a chore anymore, it's become a ritual. A way to listen to her own heartbeat. The night before, in a fateful moment, Huyen had discovered a young girl curled up in fear behind the bushes near the stream, frail, trembling in the darkness, her eyes haunted and confused. No questions were needed, a single glance told Huyen this girl had survived something terrible. Now, as the cold water splashes against her hands, the image of that frightened gaze returns vividly. It brings back memories of her own. Years ago, she too had once lain helpless, clutching her baby, praying just to survive one more day. Who was this girl? What had she run from so desperately? The answer hardly mattered. Huyen knew, because she had walked that very path herself. And for that reason alone, she could not turn away. She had carried the girl home, laid her gently on an old mattress, covered her with a frayed blanket, and prayed for peace to find her. Returning from the stream, Huyen began to light the stove. The crackling of dry wood and the curling smoke stung her eyes, but warmed her heart. She cooked a pot of plain rice porridge, added some herbs, Maya's favorite, and waited quietly. Maya awoke with a sleepy but bright face. She wrapped her arms around her mother, giggling, then helped set the table. The scene was already heartwarming, and it grew even more tender when a soft groan rose from the corner of the hut. Huyen glanced over, then walked gently toward the sound, placing a bowl of porridge beside the young woman. The girl, pale, panicked, recoiled, as if expecting to be punished. But instead of scolding, a gentle voice spoke. "You're safe here. No one will hurt you in this home." The words were simple, but they carried an entire universe of shelter. Maya toddled over, pushing the bowl into the girl's hands, chirping cheerfully, "My mommy made it. It's really yummy. Eat up so you'll feel better." Tears welled up in the girl's eyes. Perhaps for the first time in a very long while, she heard words without judgment, without pity, just pure kindness. Huyen sat down, her hands resting calmly on her knees, careful not to move too quickly. The girl, hesitant, took small spoonfuls of porridge, her trembling hands clinging to the bowl as if holding onto a lifeline. Huyen asked nothing. She knew that pain is only spoken when one feels safe. And at that moment, what the girl needed most wasn't interrogation, but quiet presence, like a steady branch in a storm. A few minutes passed. Outside, the wind stirred faintly, Then came a whisper, barely audible, "My name is Leenne. I'm running from my husband and his lover." The story unraveled, jagged pieces of memory laced with fear. Leenne had once been a hopeful bride, stepping into a marriage that promised happiness. But after a few years, her husband's true nature emerged, violent, cruel. When she discovered his affair, the beatings began. Even worse, his mistress joined in the emotional torture, plotting to make Leenne disappear before she could expose the truth. Leenne tried to seek help from her family, but every door she knocked on shut coldly. She was branded a failure, a woman who couldn't keep her husband, a disgrace to the family. Last night, barefoot and heart pounding, she fled into the darkness. With nowhere left to go, she collapsed by the bushes, until Huyen's gentle eyes pulled her from the night. As the story ended, Huyen could no longer hold back her tears. Though she had survived her own tragedies, witnessing another soul endure same anguish reopened old wounds. She didn't blame, didn't advise, she simply embraced Leenne as one who had once broken, now holding another fragment of herself. Maya, not quite understanding, sat beside them. She placed a tiny handkerchief in Lienne's palm and said, "Mommy made this from her old shirt. If you wipe your tears, you'll feel better." Leenne burst into sobs. That night, the three females, one experienced, one broken, and one innocent, sat together in the small kitchen, the flickering oil lamp casting shadows on their thoughtful faces. The scent of porridge, smoke, and burning wood mingled in the air, like the lingering warmth of a family being slowly rebuilt. Leenne shared that the only person she still missed was her mother-in-law, who had once loved her like a daughter. Though she wasn't sure if the woman would take her back, it was the only place her heart still reached for. Huyen smiled, soft but resolute. "If your heart still calls to her, believe that love never truly disappears. You can try to go back. But if that isn't possible, my home, poor as it is, will always have room for you." Leenne grasped her hand and whispered thanks, not just for the food or shelter, but for seeing her as a human being, not a problem to discard. The next morning, under golden sunlight filtering through the leaves, Leenne packed up only a few things Huyen had given her, and prepared to leave. Maya clung to her leg and waved, "Please come back. Okay? Me and Mommy are here." Leenne cried, not from sorrow, but because, for the first time in so long, her heart trembled at genuine kindness. She turned, nodded to Maya, and walked away, courage lit by strangers. Far beyond a few hills, another man named De was staying in a thatched hut owned by old Mr. Adam, a kind farmer who once nursed him through a severe fever. When De woke up, he had nothing, no money, no family. But what he received was a warm bowl of porridge and unconditional care. De, once a man who had lost his way but still had a good heart, couldn't accept charity without gratitude. He began helping Mr. Adam with small tasks, carrying water, weeding, cleaning the garden. A few days later, he took work in the fields, saving little by little to buy food, medicine, and supplies for his benefactor. Under the soft morning light, De harvested corn, sweat dripping silently, proof of a thankfulness that needed no words. He didn't seek recognition, only the assurance that he was doing the right thing. Returning home, he rolled up his sleeves to cook, smiling with Mr. Adam and friendly neighbor Uncle Tam. The meal was simple, but the laughter echoed far. "I'm repaying you for saving me," De said when thanked. "But really, I'm just finding myself again, the man I thought I had lost." The story of Huyen, Leenne, De, Maya, and even Mr. Adam has no magic, no dazzling heroes, but in their smallest gestures, gentle words, and compassionate gazes, they became miracles for one another. Huyen, a mother once cast aside, chose forgiveness and open arms. A man once lost, chose gratitude and goodness. Leenne, a woman on the brink, was lifted by softness and belief. And Maya, a 3-year-old girl, became the angel who brought unconditional love to hearts that had turned cold. Microphone emoji. What do you think of this story? Have you ever reached out to someone in need, or been saved by kindness in your darkest moment? Sometimes it's the smallest things, a bowl of warm porridge, a gentle word, that can change a life forever. Let lytutien continue to share these quiet acts of compassion. If today's story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video so we can preserve and spread these beautiful values together. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next story.